There's a village hidden deep in the valley, among the pine trees half forlorn.
I have a question. Will Jesus forgive me if I rape someone?
Yes.
You're fucked up, mate, yes. Are you a rapist?
There on a sunny
Hang on,
morning,
you did all little kiddies, didn't you?
Jimmy Brown was born.
Hello?
All the chapel bells were ringing
Turn that
in the little valley town, and the song that they were singing was for baby Jimmy Brown. Then the little congregation prayed for guidance from above. Lead us not into temptation, bless this hour of meditation, guide him with eternal love. There's a village hidden deep in the valley, beneath the mountains high above, and there, 20 years thereafter, Jimmy was to meet his love. All the chapel bells were ringing, 'twas a great day in his life, 'cause the songs that they were singing was for Jimmy and his wife. Then the little congregation prayed for guidance from above. Lead us not into temptation, bless, O Lord, this celebration, may their lives be filled with love. From the village hidden deep in the valley, one rainy morning dark and gray, a soul winged its way to heaven. Jimmy Brown had passed away. Just a lonely bell was ringing in the little valley town. 'Twas farewell that it was singing to our good old Jimmy Brown. And the little congregation prayed for guidance from above. Lead us not into temptation, may his soul find the salvation of thy great eternal love.
Hi, Gertie. Little Gertie. I'm back. Welcome, neighbor.
Okay, hi, hello.
Hello. What would you like to say?
I think the Bible is not demonstrably true. Sorry, English is my second language.
Well, I can demonstrate it's true.
How?
I would say because math works, and the only way math could work is if it had a foundation in reality, and then only the Bible identifies that foundation. So,
Well, not really. Firstly, whether math was founded or created by humans is a philosophical debate that's been happening for centuries now, and it hasn't really come to a definite conclusion. It could be that math is just being created by humans. We are seeing in mathematics many abstract concepts that only works in the field of mathematics.
But I have an argument that's not possible.
Of course. Go on.
Yeah. So if math was created by humans, then it could change. Because like language is created by humans and we can change language. But math can't change, right? Like 2 + 2 = 4. That doesn't change. So it couldn't be created by humans.
Well, a fact that the boundaries of mathematics and the rules of mathematics were not changed doesn't mean that mathematics is inherently unchangeable. It's just a closed ecosystem that is, rather than changed, is being like more things are being added to it. First, second thing, it does not prove that the Bible is real. It proves that any concept is okay.
Are you saying 2 + 2 can = 5?
No, I am saying that 2 + 2
that's an unchanging truth.
will always. No, I'm saying that 2 + 2 = 4 does not prove that Bible was not that mathematics was not created by humans.
Okay, but it's an unchanging truth. If humans created it, it could change.
It cannot change because of the boundaries that it was established in.
But that doesn't make any sense. Why couldn't I create different math?
Well, it depends on what you define as math. Because if I have 2 objects and I will have another 2 objects, I will have 4 objects.
Is the definition
that is just
is your definition is the definition optional or necessary?
I think necessary for what I am going to demonstrate.
Okay.
So,
well, then to have a necessary definition, you need a necessary. Excuse me. To have a necessary definition, you would need a necessary reality. Because if there's no necessary reality, there's no necessary definition.
I don't really understand the point of what you're saying, so I'm just going to
have a. I just proved God. God's the necessary reality. You couldn't have a necessary definition without a necessary reality to make the definition necessary.
Okay, then
so God,
if
necessary reality is revealed in the Bible.
Okay.
So what's your necessary reality if it's not the Bible?
Let's assume that the Big Bang happened first, and that second.
Stop. I made an argument, and it's extremely rude to ignore me. I don't appreciate that. I made an argument that you have to have a necessary reality to have a necessary definition. And we need a necessary definition to even debate. So there's like shared meaning.
Yes,
so
and
I'm offering a candidate as the necessary reality. I'm saying it's Jesus. What's the necessary reality that's not Jesus, so we can have a meaningful debate?
Well, I am presenting a counter being to be said thing, and it is the Big Bang. Just because the Big Bang happened and the universe was...
Okay. I'm going to have to ask you to leave because I don't want you to just sit here and bullshit. Because you're bullshitting.
How am I bullshitting?
Look, figure it out, man. Like, you don't understand what we're talking about. You're pretending. So I'd like you to leave, please. You're sued.
What do you mean I'm sued?
You're a pseudo-intellectual. Please leave.
How am I pseudo-intellectual?
Figure it out. That's not my problem. It's your fucking problem. Leave.
No, dude, you're just calling me names.
Whatever, bro. The Bible says, don't give to dogs what is holy and don't cast pearls before pigs. So I'm obligated by Christ. obligated by Christ to not interact with you because
The Bible
way
says,
you're-
love thy neighbor.
it also says don't give to dogs what is holy. And when you have this horrible, arrogant attitude, it's no point talking to you. It's pointless conversation. So please leave.
Do you not know how to kick me out?
I do, but can you be an adult and leave? Like, I don't want to treat you like a child.
Then why would you just kick me?
I'm trying to fix broken men. You need self-control. You need to be able to walk away from a conversation.
Okay, then by kicking me out, you're walking away from a conversation.
Okay. I'll just assume I'll be charitable and I'll assume, I love your accent. But I think there's a language barrier there. I don't know what's going on. Welcome, Nairbear.
Hey, so I'll argue point one.
Okay. Math
What's more-
works.
Okay. What's Mark 16:9 say?
I don't know. I don't have the Bible memorized.
Okay, these signs will follow those who believe. They will lay hands on serpents. They will drink poison and not be harmed. They will be bit by serpents and not die.
Yeah, based. Yep. I can't hear you when you swipe off the app. I can't hear you. If you swipe off the app, I can't hear you.
I said, if the Bible were true, tell that to the multiple Pentecostal preachers who were bit by rattlesnakes and serpents and are no longer in the land of the living. So obviously the text is not true. It does not coincide. It does not correlate with reality.
It is true because in Acts, Paul gets bitten by a venomous snake and he survives.
Okay, well, that's the source material claiming that there's no actual historical
you're
record
wrong.
of that happening.
You're
But
wrong.
hold up. You're using New Testament. Let's go back to Jeremiah 8:8. What's Jeremiah 8:8 say? You want me to tell you since you probably don't know because most Christians don't?
Why are you acting like this?
Well, it's really aggravating. Christians run their mouth about so much stuff. Just have the audacity to say that the Bible's true and not even know the Bible, not even know which canon they're using, not even knowing the different translation, not even knowing it's just infuriating. It gets old after a while. The gaslighting, the pride, the arrogance, the hypocrisy. That's why.
I'm making a logical argument.
It's totally no. You're actually asserting that the Bible is demonstrably true. I just showed you how it's not. And of course you have some excuse.
Contradictions in the Bible wouldn't falsify the Bible because what authority would obligate me to reason consistently?
Reason consistently. Logic. Not logic.
It's not authority. There's no intentionality.
Logic is the root. First of all, authority. If you're using the word authority in that sense, because see, what you're trying to outsource, because you're presupposing that there is an authority outside of reality itself. And reality is the barometer to everything, because you can't even appeal and make the sentence without using logic. So logic is the ultimate.
Logic has no intentionality.
What's your point?
It can't be an authority because it has no intention. It's not.
It is the metric by which everything has to occur in order to have intelligible conversation.
Right, which is why you need God as the authority behind logic.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, the laws of logic need a lawgiver. Laws don't just poof out of thin air.
No, they are descriptive of reality. See, that's where you're confused. See, you're confused about reality because you're outsourcing reality to something outside of it. That's why you're confused when something happens in reality and it contradicts your writings. Instead of being like, oh, our writings are wrong, you're like, oh no, there's a magical person in the sky that's giving all these convoluted instructions and he's good and he's perfect, but he's not that great of a writer.
If you had a map that didn't accurately represent the land that you're on, you wouldn't be able to you'd get lost, right? If you're using an inaccurate map to navigate, you'd get lost, right?
Yeah.
Right. And so logic is like our map onto the world. We use it to determine what's true.
You use logic in order to decipher patterns within the structure of reality.
We use logic to think correctly about the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the map has to represent the land that we're navigating. So logic has to accurately reflect the world.
Exactly.
Okay, so then because logic is unchanging and eternal, we need an unchanging.
Oh, there's the little trick that you play, eternal. Like, where does that come from? Logic is the mechanism by which you make sense of things.
Yeah, well, it's eternal because it has to be the case. Like it can't fail to be true because
Well, you're inferring that. You're just saying that.
no, if it were true that like an object could have contradicting properties, then reality would become unstable and unintelligible.
Okay, yeah.
Well, then we couldn't have a debate.
Exactly. So that's why logic is the starting point of everything. As is my mind, experience, consciousness.
That's why you have to give it you have to explain what does logic map onto in reality, because it's unchanging and
the correct functionality and the mechanisms of reality.
No, there has to be something that's real, that's unchanging and eternal and uncreated.
No, see, that's your little baby level apologetics that you're trying to do right there. That's not true. That's an assertion right there.
It's logic. Okay, you don't like logic, then you're just being unreasonable.
No, I'm using logic right now to figure out this nonsense that you're claiming.
But you're not. If logic could change, then
I don't think you understand. Define logic for me, dude.
Correct thinking about the world.
I mean, okay, I guess I can give that to you. It's more like...
Or is it incorrect thinking about the world?
No, it is the method.
It's either correct or incorrect thinking about the world.
No, it is... Yeah, okay, we can go with that definition.
Yeah. So the map has to accurately reflect the territory, so logic has to map onto reality, and because logic is eternal and uncreated, there has to be an eternal and uncreated reality.
See, you keep doing that. You keep sneaking. It's eternal and uncreated. No, it's descriptive of the world. It is justified by its functionality and the mechanisms of using it through experience and consciousness.
The first law of logic is the law of identity. Could an object exist that has no identity?
I'm not arguing that.
Then it would be uncreated and eternal, because it would be impossible for something to exist without an identity, and the law of identity is the first law of logic. So existence is impossible without logic.
Okay, you're missing the point. You're skipping a step.
What am I skipping?
You're skipping because you're skipping the fact that it begins with consciousness and it comes from the mind and it comes from observation.
That's not even related. So you're scared and you're running away from the argument.
I'm not. I'm just not dodging.
Are you denying that logic is uncreated and eternal? Are you denying that?
No.
If you are, you're saying something can exist with no identity, which is absolute nonsense.
Wait. So. Wait. Okay. Hey, fuckface. Fuck you. All right.
Well, hey, don't get mad at me because you're dumb. It's because you rejected God's revelation, and God has allowed you to become an R word. Welcome, neighbor.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. So on your point, number 3, abortion is child sacrifice.
Right.
How? Obviously, I assume that falls under the killing of any innocent child or.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
I can't hear you when you swipe. Hey, you guys, I got a new argument against slavery. It's like unbelievable. It's the argument to end all slavery arguments. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, 1 Samuel 15:3.
What are we doing?
Well, like I say, at that point 3, abortion is child sacrifice. I assume that the killing of children and infants is also,
Okay.
promoted.
So you're talking about now go attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put to death men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys. This has nothing to do with abortion. This is or child sacrifice. This is a judgment from God.
I mean, child sacrifice would innately be the killing of infants, is it not?
A sacrifice is when you sacrifice the child to God. But when God commands you to go to war with an evil nation, that's a judgment from God. That's not a sacrifice.
But it's plausible to kill infants.
This is a category error. Do you like
Category.
logic? I like logic. Yeah, I'm into logic. So this is a category. Yeah, so a judgment, divine judgment from God is not the same as a human ritual sacrifice. These are totally different things. So this verse has nothing to do with abortion or child sacrifice.
No, I know. I'm using like the relation to abortion.
In Soviet Russia, debate you. Oh man, I want someone to bring up slavery in the Bible so bad. Oh my god. Oh my god, I want someone to bring up. Please bring up slavery in the Bible. Please bring up let's talk about Leviticus 25. What's up, bro?
Hey man, I noticed a lot of these atheists are losing their footing, and they're feeling like they have to apologize to you when you act like you're all butthurt. I think that's kind of sad and kind of silly. Like, why would you ever worry about offending a pedophile? I promise I will never apologize to you after you got kicked out of your church for asking out that 15-year-old. You fucking piece of shit. Your feelings mean nothing to me.
Let it all out, buddy.
Yeah.
Good?
So that said, you want to talk about slavery? Let's talk about slavery.
Okay.
Go ahead. Present your argument that you think is so profound. Apologist.
Well, usually people bring up Leviticus 25 to say that the Bible endorses slavery.
Go ahead.
Okay, but Leviticus 25 is about the year of Jubilee. So the idea of this book is that, or this chapter, I guess, that God owns all land and all people. So people can never truly own the land, and people can never truly own each other.
Do you know what ownership is?
If you're gonna ask me questions like that, I'm gonna ask you to leave.
I mean, yeah, Proverbs 28:1, the wicked flee as none pursue. That's pretty typical of you to run from basics. When you claim ownership over something, I'm asking you, does God have the deed of ownership?
I'm gonna ask you to leave.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Checkmate, bitch.
So God redeemed the Israelites.
Maybe stop trying to perv on underage girls, okay? Learn from your mistakes and apologize and be a better person.
What's the name of the victim?
Like, God's not going to, sacrificing things is not going to make you a better person.
Could you name the victim?
I don't need to name the victim. I already know the facts. I know that you're a PDF. Okay. And so at the end of the day, I said, victim, I will never apologize to you for your hurt feelings.
Who's the victim? Okay? Who's the victim?
The 15-year-old that you ask out that you got.
What's their name?
That you got kicked out of your church for.
What's their name?
Like I said the other day, when you told me I was just trying to embarrass you on this, if you didn't do anything embarrassing, you wouldn't be embarrassed.
I went to church yesterday.
Yeah, at your new church, I know. Tell Gary I said hello, and to please, Darth Gary needs to stop beating his wife. And tell him if he ever wants a real debate, he can go ahead and unban me, and
Yeah, I
I'll
wonder
feel
why
free
he
to
banned you.
cook his ass as per the
Yeah.
usual, just
Yep.
like I do you.
Totally.
Anytime, bro.
Yep.
I like your little fanboys in the chat. LOL slander. Nothing slanderous about it.
I mean, there's no victim. And if you actually care about children, why don't you go to the police with this information?
Well, you told me you were going to message me your fucking location so I could contact the police in your local area, and you never did.
Oh, God.
So that's just another one of you bearing false covenant.
This is an excuse.
So you're going to have to pray for your bearing of false covenant, because I believe that's against your 10 commandments, isn't it? Which one of the 17 10 commandments does that violate?
I'm kind of bored of this because.
Yeah, I bet. Are you familiar with all 17 of your 10 commandments? I guess not. So the 10 commandments appear in 2 different sections of your holy book, right? And only 30% of those are repeating, meaning you have 17 10 commandments, if you didn't know better. I'm still waiting for you to present your slavery argument, but evidently you don't actually have a good argument. Because we all know it's just apologetics, because you're just a slavery apologist and you think that it's just okay. We're more slaves in America today than we were in the Bible. Because, in the Bible, you get beaten if you don't do what your master tells you. But here in America, we're so much worse off, right?
Well, that Pretty guy got beaten.
Before getting shot 9 times in the back by the guy you voted for. Well, maybe not directly by the guy you voted for who eats children, but the guy who put his Gestapo in the streets.
Well, sometimes when people act like animals, you gotta treat them like an animal. And that's true.
Interesting.
That's
So the
true.
guy who eats people needs to treat others like animals. That's very interesting. I would say, since he's so big on getting rid of the Constitution, maybe we should get rid of the 8th Amendment on cruel and unusual punishment. And maybe we should make him, since he's so big on eating children, maybe we should make him eat his own children.
So the way to deal with people who act like animals is to treat them like animals.
Right. So I'm basically agreeing with you on that if Donald Trump likes to eat children so much, we should get rid of the 8th Amendment, banning cruel and unusual punishment, and we should make him eat Ivanka and Barron. He should eat his own children.
And so,
that's fair, right?
I wonder if I'll get in trouble for him saying that.
I hope you do. I hope you get in all the trouble. You deserve years in jail, sir.
For what?
For being a PDF, obviously.
Who's the victim?
The 15-year-old girl you tried to perv on? I mean, obviously there was no victim because your church put a nix to it when they kicked you out. So you couldn't really proceed with your plan. I guess if you were a stalker, you could proceed with your plan, which I wouldn't put past you. But, when you actually show your face on here and you show your gray-ass beard, the thought of you trying to perv on a 15-year-old is really repulsive, dude. Like, really, really disgusting. Did you know Christianity is gay, by the way? Here, I've got some images for it. I've been running a live called Christianity is Gay, Prove Me Wrong. Perhaps you've crossed by it and seen it. Are you familiar with these arguments? You know that according to Google, feet in the Bible is euphemism for genitals. So when Jesus washed people's feet, we know what he was actually doing. He was washing their, with the Gok 9000. Oh, isn't that an adorable little I'm with stupid that you put up there? You're hilarious, P. Mars. So no actual arguments against this, huh? You got nothing? How about Acts 1:8? You will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you. You familiar with that one? That one's pretty gay. Like, not even gonna lie.
This is fascinating.
Agreed. So, neighbor, do you want to actually run your slavery apologetics on me?
Okay, so Leviticus 25 has to do with a socioeconomic institution of redemption, where the idea is that God redeemed the Israelites from indentured servitude or slavery in Egypt. And so they belong to God. And Leviticus 25 is talking about the year of Jubilee. That the idea is that God owns all the people because he bought them from Egypt, and he owns all the land. And because God owns these things, it prevents humans from abusing people and taking advantage
Right, so we're
of
back
them.
where we started. You haven't shown me your deed of ownership in this God's hands, and then you asked me to leave when I asked to see the deed of ownership.
Well, if we look at Luke,
So how do you I guess what I'm asking there is, how do you substantiate your claim that this God holds ownership over this land and these people? Which is why I asked you to define owning. And then you fully crashed out and you're like, leave.
that's what Leviticus 25. It's about how God owns people and property, and it's about they have a covenant.
And so how do you substantiate that he owns people and land? Does he have the deed?
Leviticus 25.
Does he hold the deed of ownership in his hand?
That's what the chapter is about.
And does he even have hands to hold a deed of ownership in?
Leviticus 25 promotes social equity and prevents abuse through the year of Jubilee, which points to Christ as the fulfillment of the year of the Lord's favor. That's from Luke 4:18. So Christ is the true Jubilee of liberation from slavery.
Sure, so you're not actually going to substantiate his ownership.
Sure, Luke 14 verse or Luke 4 verse 18, it says,
I'm asking to see the deed of ownership in this God's hand. Can you demonstrate this for me? Can you substantiate this claim? Or are you just going to circle logic, gaslight yourself into submission by circling back to the scripture itself?
well, now you're being a sea lion.
Oh, fukumai puse.
Now we've gone to sea lion mode. So
I love how
when
the
we read-
believers are like, oh, this makes no sense. It makes perfect sense. If he owns the land, he should have a deed for the land that we can view, we can see with our eyes. He can put that piece of paper that is the title and the ownership of the land down on the table, and we can look at this piece of paper that says he has ownership of the land and the people. So where is this deed that God would have?
This is a sea lion maneuver, so you're sea lioning.
Not at all. I'm asking you to show me. I'm asking you to substantiate your claims, not just circle logic, gaslight yourself into submission by circling right back to the claim. The Bible is the claim, and circling back to the claim does not add validity to the claim.
A sea lion is a sea lion, and you're a sea lion. So you're just being a sea lion.
So if I say to you, I am God, you will not question my infallible logic and will. Are you going to accept that, since that's the claim?
I guess I'll teach people about sea lioning since you're demonstrating the tactic.
Oh my God. You can cry all you like and flee all you like, but all you're doing by fleeing from me is violating Proverbs 28:1, the wicked flee. So you're in violation of your own fucking argument. I like how you muted that guy for saying PMARS concedes, PMARS concedes, PMARS concedes. I don't know why you didn't like him saying PMARS concedes. Or maybe it was one of your mods. I don't know how many mods you have in here. I imagine they're cucks like you that probably perv on 15-year-olds just like you in your church. So I guess what I'm really curious about is, I mean, your best friend is Darth Dawkins, who beat his ex-wife, and there's testimony of her saying that on YouTube. So I guess what I'm curious about is why you're such a degenerate slimeball of a human being. You can gaslight all you like. It's not going to work against me because I'm better than you. Always have been, always will be, baby. Oh, I see somebody in your comments says you guys aren't friends anymore. Did you guys have a breakup?
No.
Oh.
I love Darth.
You still love Darth? Does he beat you like he did his ex-wife?
I will always love Darth. I will never not love Darth.
Why does Darth get so angry when you call him by his real name, Gary?
I mean, it should be obvious because it reveals your character, that you're just trying to like intimidate him or antagonize him. One or the other.
Hans Skolo says that you have a Chatterbait account. Is that true?
No.
Oh, well, that's a shame. I was going to say we should partner up on Jackmate and do some Jackmate duos. We could do Jackmate ranked duos. You familiar with that one?
Well,
I bet you are.
He's kind of demonstrating scripture, though, right? Because
yeah, I always demonstrate, what is it, Matthew 6:7, about not casting my pearls of wisdom to Christian swine, for they will not appreciate them, and they will trample them and attack me. Yeah, that's very typical.
Oh,
it's
yeah, this one.
Good scripture.
Since they do not see fit to acknowledge God, God gave them up to a debased mind, filled with
What
all
God?
manner of
Baal?
unrighteousness,
Yahweh,
evil,
the storm god? The Sumerian storm god? Which
gossips, slanderers.
Remember when Yahweh says, "You shall no longer call me by my wife's name, Baal"? You remember that? You should Google those words. Okay. Because he claims to be Baal before he claims to be Yahweh.
Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
The gaslighting won't work on me, P. Mars. I'm above it and beyond it.
The natural person does not accept the things of the Spirit of God, for they are folly to him, and he is not able to understand them because they are spiritually discerned.
Hilarious.
So to you, it's foolishness because you're operating on the natural level, unable to discern spiritual truths.
What do we have? What evidence do we have of anything supernatural?
That's why your foundation...
Right, so in the history of forever, that was a dodge of the question. So in the history of forever, what proven beyond shadow of a doubt do we have? Single instance. I'm not saying prove God. I'm saying show me one single instance that's been proven beyond shadow of a doubt of anything supernatural in the entire history of forever.
This isn't me judging. It's what
exactly. You have nothing. You have nothing to show. You just have claims. Claims upon unsubstantiated claims upon unsubstantiated claims. That's all you have.
I urge you to turn away from the darkness and seek the light. It's not too late to
It's not darkness to use empirical evidence to support your claims. What is darkness darkness of the mind. To not have empirical evidence to support your claims, to believe claims without a firm base, means you have no logical or scientific basis for your understanding. All you have is a bunch of woo and a bunch of hoodoo. Like, that's what you're going off of right now. This is why Destiny cooked your boy Darth when he said presupposition is a garbage argument, and he explained it to him. It's why I caught you and Darth in there, like, going over the fucking replay of the video like you guys were football stars that suffered a horrible defeat. And you're, like, going over the replay, analyzing where you fucked up.
Damn, this is years of trauma.
Oh, yeah. There's Christian trope counter activated. Now we've got the, oh, you do believe in God. You're just angry at him because someone hurt you. There's the trope number one. Let's see if we can get some more fucking Christian tropes going.
Well, have you ever questioned the reason for your endless skeptical loops and moral flip-flopping? It's because you're walking in the futile thinking, hardened heart.
By all means, presuppose my mindset.
Well, the Bible tells me...
You presuppose you're God, you might as well presuppose what I think as well.
The Bible
That
tells
doesn't
me.
make an ass out of yourself in front of your entire fucking audience. Why don't you tell me I'm going to hell and you're going to laugh at it and show us that Christian love?
I'm not that person anymore.
Oh, now you're not that person anymore. Okay. You've done it 1,000 times before, but now you're not that person all of a sudden. That's adorable,
Wrong.
P. Mars.
That was wrong. I repented.
You're right. It was wrong. Just like you following a false god is wrong. Snakes don't have vocal cords to tempt women in gardens, Mars. Grow the fuck up.
Well, you must not walk as the world does in the futility of your own thinking.
The world walks? Last I checked, the Bible says the earth doesn't move. Now, do we know that with science? Do we know that the earth doesn't move at 65,000 miles an hour through the galaxy? Interesting. Seems to me like that's yet another thing the Bible's been proven wrong on.
The world is darkened in their understanding.
Can you remind me of the gay shit that Jonathan said to David? Oh, that's right. What was it? 2 Samuel 126, when he says, your love to me is wonderful, more wonderful than the love of women. It's fucking gay, dude. Why are you on this gay shit? I thought your religion hated gay people. Doesn't your faith say that it's an abomination for a man to lay with man?
You got us confused with Islam.
And yet here it is. Moses is making out with Jethro. Moses is making out with Aaron at the Brokeback Mountain of God. Moses is going into the tent with Jethro after their makeout session, after they lay the foreskin on his feet. Like, what the fuck, bro? You want to tell me this shit's not gay? Jacob wrestling with God all night long, and then God touching his hip? Bro, this is fucking gay.
You're building up wrath against God.
Jesus kissing Judas. Jesus hanging out naked in a garden with little boys. Jesus having two fathers. Bro, this is fucking gay as shit gets. How about Ruth and Naomi making out in Ruth chapter 1, verse 14?
If you really believed it was gay, wouldn't you become a
If you
Christian?
really believed in free will, you would read fucking Ephesians 1:11 and see that everything is predestined by his will. And you would look up the word fucking predestined, and you would understand that predestined means there's no such thing as fucking free will. It overrides your free will. If everything is predestined by his will, then you can't say that sin was brought into the world by man's free will. You're just fucking stupid if you think that.
That's profound.
It is. Like I said, I'm better than you. I'm smarter than you. I'm faster than you. And I'm stronger than you, P. Mars. I'm older than you, and I'm wiser than you.
I'm going to give up the only standard of truth, Jesus, because you're right. There is no truth. It was obvious, right? There's no truth. There's no
Why was Jesus
morality.
in that garden at 3 a.m, naked with that little boy in Mark 14:51? What was he doing to that little boy that they had to run naked into the wilderness when the guard came?
If Jesus was gay, wouldn't you become a Christian?
I'm not gay, so I'm not a Christian, obviously. You see how that works? If I was gay, I would be a Christian.
Are you trying to fool me?
Not at all.
Okay.
I don't like men.
I thought, wow.
As Piccolo told Goku, I don't like dick.
My mistake, then.
I mean, realistically, bro, these are all things that you should know about your own faith, but you don't seem to know.
No, you're right. I'm going to be like, there's no truth, right? Jesus isn't the truth, therefore there is no truth.
Hey, yo, Executionist, if I was the best guest ever, how come he's only got 13 fucking viewers right now? Most of them are like P. Mars loyalists.
Would you mind giving someone else a chance to talk?
I mean, if you want to say something of substance, by all means, go ahead. Can you show me the deed of ownership in your God's hands over these people in this land?
For although they knew God, they did not...
let Germano up. Germano's a menace.
I only do one at a time.
Oh, you don't want to get tag teamed. I see how it is. I mean, I'm kind of shocked since you're a Christian. I thought you would have loved being tag teamed by two men. Yeah, he is scared. You're right, Germano. I mean, honestly, he can't even hold his own in this 1v1, him and me, till the clock strikes none. When I get that lightning gun, he better start to run, son.
How come you haven't mentioned like the worst attribute of Jesus? You know, like the fact that he was black.
Or the fact that he... Wow, I love the racism there. The worst attribute. I almost glossed over that for a second. But yeah, I thought you were going to mention the fact that he would call women bitches, or that he would beat people, that he was stealing donkeys, that he was just generally a criminal. But I assume you could correlate the two, you know, since you're a racist piece of shit. Where's your crime statistics on minorities and people of color? I know Germano will bring that shit up in a heartbeat.
I don't believe statistics.
Interesting.
In a technological...
So like the 93% of convicted PDFs being Christians, you don't believe that statistic? Or is it the 84% of those are religious leaders in some way, shape, or form?
Not everything in reality can be quantified, right? And so statistics miss, you know, a bunch of things that are real, and they're used to like manipulate people.
Sure, which is why you have to look at all the statistics, not just like one or two that you cherry pick. Like if you look at the exoneration rate of people of color, they're sitting at like 80 to 90% exoneration rates, meaning they're wrongfully convicted. Which illustrates a problem with the system in and of itself.
I don't care about statistics at all. I don't believe in statistics. I go with my lived experience.
So
you know what's crazy? People believe statistics over their lived experience. Isn't that fucked up?
I'm not gonna say that I would believe statistics over my lived experiences, but I will say that
people do.
Statistics have a place in the world, just as lived experiences do. I mean, do you know what the Catholic Church and McDonald's have in common, P. Mars?
They have a clown.
No, they both like sticking their meat in 10-year-old buns. Get it together, dude. Come on, bro. Be realistic.
That's a good one. That's actually demonstrates the proof of the Bible, because when you reject God, that's the type of stuff people do.
You think the Catholic Church rejects God?
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. Like, you can't even agree with the other 40,000 denominations of your own faith. How the fuck do you expect to stand against one such as me?
Well, I think disagreement is a strength. Like mathematicians disagree. You know?
Steel sharpens steel.
We don't fault mathematicians for disagreeing and say, well, math isn't objective. It doesn't. Human weakness doesn't destroy God's objective revelation.
Which God?
You know which God. He's calling you.
I don't.
I can tell you hear his call, but there's...
What does it sound like? Should we pray together so we can hear it, so we can listen for it?
It seems like pride is preventing you from kneeling.
No, I'm down. Let's hear it. Let us pray. Go ahead.
I don't want to pray with...
Oh, you don't want to lead me in prayer? Well, that's fair. At least you're sticking to Jesus' word on that, because he does tell you not to make a show of it, not to do it in public, to go into your closet, do it privately, which makes you, I guess, better than 90% of the Christians that come on here and decide to make a show of it on their live spaces. So at least you listen to him in that regard.
Do you think it's weird that you're using a book that you don't even believe in as like a weapon to harass Christians?
Yeah, you like how I'm twisting the words against you?
Isn't that kind of like...
That's because I'm the Dark One.
Okay.
Who plays Mortal Kombat music? P. Mars or me? I'm not playing Mortal Kombat music. But I did have a contestant on Christianity is Gay Prove Me Wrong the other day. He came up and he started talking about his experience with spirits. When I asked him to substantiate that, he started going off on this anecdotal tangent, which I started, of course, playing the Ghostbusters theme in the background because that was fucking gold. P. Mars plays fucking Mortal Kombat music in the background. Do you actually play Mortal Kombat, P. Mars? Because I bet you I would thrash you with that shit all day, every day.
I play
Anyway.
Mario Kart 8 and I play Street Fighter Third Strike.
Okay. What's your main in Third Strike?
Ken.
Ugh, pathetic. I mean, I'd throw down with you, so long as you like playing against Akumas.
I don't care. I play you. You have it. I have it on Switch.
I don't have it. I don't have any Nintendo products. I got an Xbox One,
I don't know.
and I got a PC.
I don't think it's cross-platform.
Well, actually, I'm gonna get the Street Fighter. What is it? The Master Collection one of these days on Steam that has like all the Street Fighter games.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I mean,
we
I do.
play on,
I do most of my gaming on Steam these days. My kid has pretty much taken over my Xbox.
Do you have Fightcade? I have Fightcade.
I don't even know what that is. Never heard of it.
Oh. Then I'm gonna smoke you.
I mean, I'm a menacing Shang Tsung in MK11.
Yeah, I've never played that game.
Mm.
I've only played Third Strike a little. I only started playing Third Strike recently. But back in the day, I used to play Street Fighter Alpha.
You're not a Mortal Kombat guy, but yet you play the music. How interesting.
I played,
Your soul is mine.
The music is iconic. Mortal Kombat.
It is iconic.
Iconic.
I take it you watched the movies and whatnot.
Yeah, I was more of a Street Fighter guy though. Like I didn't really like the game. I feel like Mortal Kombat was cool for the fatalities, but I didn't really like the gameplay.
Honestly, I feel like the fatalities are actually the most boring part of it because you have to sit there and like watch a bunch of bullshit instead of getting into the next match and getting right back to it.
Flawless victory. What's up, Gertie? What? Wait, baby. Girl. She likes playing with the laser pointer. I'm pretty sure I could beat anyone in the debate scene at Third Strike, unless someone's like some crazy wizard. And Mario Kart 2. My Mario Kart game is pretty mean. I'm playing a lot of Mario Kart. PMAR's winning is predicted under theism. Well, theism, I don't argue for theism abductively, like it's probably true. I argue theism as if it's like a necessary truth. Because God is a necessary being. So I don't understand. It doesn't really make sense to argue for God probabilistically. Because God's necessary. I think I'm gonna make a video with that conversation with that guy. Welcome, neighbor. Oh, he left. I feel like my apologetics game is very strong at this point. I've been studying a lot. I feel very strong on these debates. Like, I'm not really worried about anything they're gonna say. I feel like if you know the Bible well, they can't touch you. They will do the sea lion thing though, but I think I'm just gonna call anytime they sea lion me, I'll just call them out because it's not really cool to do that. So when I'm sea lioning is when they keep going like, what's your argument for that? What's the source for that? What's the evidence for that? What's the infants rule? What modal scope? That's sea lioning. Or what's the definition for that? What do you mean by that? That's sea lioning. Just endlessly, right? Or another thing is like if you make an argument, they'll ignore your argument and like talk about something else. That's sea lioning. Should I just read the? I should just read it. I'm trying to bring awareness to this thing because everyone on the debates on TikTok is using this dishonest technique, and the debates would be way better if people stopped doing this. Welcome, neighbor.
Hello.
Hello.
Now, I have a question. I
Okay.
think I am agnostic because there's so much religions that it could be that I just want to ask you a couple questions if that is okay with you.
Sure.
What makes Jesus I guess it wouldn't be Jesus. I guess what makes the Christian God the God? Like why can't it be Allah or Buddha
Well,
or fucking the 9 Buddha gods?
it has to do with like logic. You would need a god with like a perfect attribute set to ground logic, and only Jesus has a revealed perfect attribute set.
How do you know he has perfect attributes?
We look at his attributes, and then we look at any of the other gods' attributes, right? None of the other gods can ground logic. Only Jesus can ground logic.
Allah can ground logic. It
That's
says so
false.
in the Quran.
That's false because Allah is Unitarian. So if everything was ultimately one, then distinctions would be an illusion. So that would not work.
Okay, so now why would science be wrong?
Because science is a study of rational order and patterns in the natural world, like gravity, and you would need a rational ordering principle to have these rational patterns. So Jesus is the logos or the rational ordering principle reason and logic is grounded in God's rational nature, and then God's will aligns the world to be ordered rationally as his nature is.
Okay. Do you believe in the Big Bang?
No. Is that some LGBTQ stuff?
No, like the Big Bang, as in like the Big Bang Theory?
No, I don't believe in that.
Okay. Why don't you believe in it?
Because I believe what God says in the Bible. Because man is fallible and God is infallible.
You've probably heard this before, but the Bible also does say to treat your slaves as that you only have to feed them once a day. Is that also true?
That's not true. That's false.
I'm pretty sure in Leviticus it says as long as you can have slaves as long as you treat them fair.
Leviticus 25 is usually what people bring up. So that book, that chapter, is about how the people in the land belong to God. And the idea is that because the people belong to God and the land belongs to God, you couldn't abuse, like corporations can own land and kind of exploit the poor by like buying a bunch of like low income housing and then like charging them for it. You know what I mean? So it's like this law was to prevent people from exploiting each other because it says that God owns the land and God owns the people. So to point to that and say this endorses slavery is like totally schizo.
Okay, that makes sense. Thanks for clarifying. So are you saying, so let's backtrack a little. Let's go to, did God just randomly appear out of energy? Like one day the universe was like, hey, this is a God.
God is uncreated and eternal. He's the Alpha and the Omega, so he can't fail to exist. He always is.
Well, how would that work logically? Because
there has to be a necessary reality. He's the necessary reality.
Yes, but logically there has to be a logical start point. There can't just be
Yeah,
just
he's
a
the starting
line.
point. He's
There
the
is a
starting
there has to be a starting point. Okay,
Yeah,
then
who's
what
the
was
starting
before
point?
that?
If there was before that, then he's not the starting point.
Correct, but there's always something before a starting point.
Then there's no starting point. Because that would entail an infinite regress, so that can't be true.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. When do you think God will return to Earth, or Jesus?
I have no idea. The Bible says no one knows, but you can. My pastor says Israel is sort of like a time clock. My pastor says like we're near the end of days, but I don't know. Or Jesus is going to return soon, but I don't know if I believe that.
Okay. Do you believe what Israel is doing is right?
Yes and no.
Okay. Can you clarify on the yes?
I mean, I don't really like. I mean, like I view the nation states as totalitarian. I don't think nation states are good, but I wouldn't say everything they do is bad. That's like uncharitable. Like obviously everyone does some good things. Even like I'm sure even Mustache Man did something good, right? Like he passed laws to protect animals. So even like Mustache Man did some good thing with his government, right?
I would say that his bad supremely overdid his good.
Okay, is it good to pass a law to protect animals?
Yes, but it's bad to.
Mustache Man was the first person to do that. So isn't that good that he did that?
Yes, that's good, but I feel like
Okay, there you
saying
go.
that would be like,
There you go. You
oh
just said
yeah,
Mustache Man was good. Got him. I'm just trolling you, but I mean, everyone, no one's like 100% evil. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like there can be people who are 100% evil. It's kind of like the wolf behind the sheep's clothing kind
Okay,
of
well,
thing.
that's just. I think that's insane. I think
You
there's
truly think it's insane that there could be people who are 100% evil?
Yeah, I think there's nuance. Yeah.
Who do you think Jeffrey Epstein was 100% evil?
Probably not. Maybe he was nice to his mother. I'm sure he was nice to his mother. He probably
You're
got her a
telling
lot
me
of.
right now,
He probably got her a lot of bagels. Oi.
wait, you're telling me right now that Jeffrey Epstein wasn't pure evil?
You don't think he could have like been nice to his mom?
Yo, I think that's complete insanity what you're saying right now.
I think you're unreasonable.
I think I'm perfectly reasonable for saying Jeffrey Epstein was utter and complete evil.
Okay, well, yeah, but he still could have been nice to his mom.
That doesn't matter. Whenever you're
Doesn't
true
it
and
matter? That's a
complete,
counterfactual to your fucking view. Why don't you get the hell out of here, you piece of shit?
whenever you can
Fuck
be
you.
manipulative and also act
Doesn't matter.
kind.
It's literally a counterfactual to your stupid argument. He goes, "Oh, it doesn't matter." Fuck you.
There's that Christian love again.
Hell yeah, bitch. Hell yeah, bitch. Suck it, right?
I thought you were over that behavior.
Yeah, I was joking. Obviously, you're dumb. Welcome, neighbor.
So, what do you mean by abortion as a child sacrifice to Moloch?
I mean that in the Bible, the nations who rejected God would come under the slavery and control of demons like Moloch and Baal, who would make them sacrifice their children and eat them. And that's happening today in the emails of Island Boy.
Yeah. So, a woman being assaulted and then needing an abortion, how is that sacrifice?
You're sacrificing a child for something else.
But that's not like a 12-year-old girl that gets raped and then gets pregnant. Like, you think that she should carry on and have the baby because...
Let's say like my dad raped my mom and I'm a grape baby. Does that mean I have less value than you?
No, but that doesn't mean that
why would the baby have less value because their dad raped their mom? I don't understand.
It's not about, it's about the woman. It's about the fact that a woman got assaulted and that she shouldn't
But
have to carry on a baby just because.
okay, but then then you're doing what the demons want. So I go with God. God gives us good advice on how to have a good life and avoid the slavery of sin. You don't want to be a slave. You want to be free in Christ.
So then what about the person that assaulted the woman? Like,
Well, I think our laws are probably too lenient to those people. I say we put them in a box and like probably throw away the key.
so the people that aren't religious like you, what happens with like,
I can't hear you when you swipe off. I think yeah, if we like know for sure, the thing with like grape, sometimes it can be he said, she said. That's kind of the problem with that. But you have to go to the doctor. They have like you can get physical evidence after the case, and it's like if it's like no doubt, they should probably just put the guy in a box. Bye bye. We don't need these animals running around graping people. Put them in a fucking box.
So on the
They can live their life in a box like an animal. Welcome, neighbor.
Welcome. Good evening, wherever you are. I don't know if it's evening over there, but how you doing?
I'm doing well.
All right, man. Do you want me to pick one, or could I just like slide through these real quick?
I like to go one at a time, but they're all kind of like basically, I prove the Bible's true.
I mean, yeah, fuck it. Like, let's go with the first one. I think that would be the easiest one. I contest this because something can't be demonstrably true if they have ideas that are conflicting, which leads to different divisions and different interpretations. I think when I think of true, I think of factual, right? So
Okay.
I mean, heavy Christian. I mean, church 3 times a week type of Christian when I was growing up, right?
Okay.
And the moment I started to, think about shit and I couldn't really defend myself, it was just like, not even defend myself against myself. I was like, let me think about this. And all of a sudden I'm a heretic and I'm going to hell. But an example,
Well,
right?
I don't agree with that. Like, I have problems with
I'm
like,
talking about my family, not everybody. I'm
Oh,
just saying
okay.
like in my family and stuff. But I think it can't exactly what I said, but also like there are kind of like some fundamental things that are in there that are just kind of hard for me to conceptualize or consolidate.
Well,
So
why
I
don't
guess I
you?
wanted to ask you, how do you how do you view the old and the new as far as relationship to each other?
They're interdependent. Like you can't.
You can have one without you can't have the new without the old.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the same, right? But hear me out. I don't understand how like for example, let's just be light on it. Original sin. I'm not even gonna get to like the Geno whatever and all that other stuff. I want to just talk about original sin because
I love that one.
it's so
It's my favorite sin.
you just came out of the womb and you're like you're a sinner and I'm like I don't know, I feel like babies are kind of high key like the purest and most innocent versions of ourselves, our humans.
Well, there's 3 different types of sin. Okay, there's
Mhm.
inherited sin, which is
Mhm.
obviously the original sin. And then there's like imputed sin, which is when God's like, "Hey, you did something wrong." That's God
The sinful act.
imputed you.
Yeah.
And then there's personal sin, like if I steal your Xbox, that I personally sinned against you.
So what's imputed again? Say that one more time. Sorry.
It's when God imputates you. God like condemns you basically for doing something wrong.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think I've inherited like we understand we inherited traits from our parents physically, so why not?
Not morally though.
But spiritually, like we inherit like the sin nature. So the idea is like,
So that's what I'm saying. I deeply agree with that. The proclivity to sin, right? Like that is something that just means we're not perfect. We're human. So all humans have the proclivity, the nature to sin because we're not.
but I don't
Jesus, we're not
understand
God.
like if you can inherit physical traits from your parents, why not spiritual traits?
Because I don't think somebody committing a sin is a spiritual trait, especially if they're like one that's trying to be
But
pious, right?
that's why it's called inherited sin. It's not like you did something wrong. It's like a nature. So
So a nature is different from
Something you got to understand about sin. Sin is like a grenade. It goes off, and it doesn't just affect you. You might do a sin, and someone might not be guilty of it because it's your sin, but your sin still affects innocent people. Like if a
that
father
exists already, though, right?
if a father like, but this is, you got to understand this about sin. So if a father like um gambles away all of his paycheck and then they can't buy groceries, like his whole family suffers, but they're innocent. So sin affects like everyone. And Adam and Eve's sin like shattered the whole world. The whole world became broken. That was like a consequence of like the first sin. So it's like sin's like a nuke. That was like a nuke. The original sin was like a nuke went off and like destroyed everything.
But this is what I'm saying, though, right? Because Ezekiel, I was looking at this maybe a week and a half ago. I think it's very clearly kind of, in fact, like language, plain language in Ezekiel. What is it? Ezekiel something 20. What is it? 1820 or 20. Yeah, 1820. I want to say. I might be wrong about that, but it's like that. Whatever it is, I know it's Ezekiel. It basically states, yeah, we do not inherit the sins of our forefathers. Like we cannot. We don't do that.
Imputed sins. That's why I'm saying there's three different sins. So you wouldn't inherit like imputed or personal sins, but there's inherited sin, which is like it's kind of a different thing. It's more about your nature.
It doesn't delineate actually at all. And I read that like 3 times. I was like, it doesn't delineate between the three. And then hold on, let me land this point really quickly.
Okay.
But the points that are made to kind of perpetuate this idea of original sin, they're also they can be interpreted so many different ways, you know what I'm saying? Without having to actually inject other, you know what I'm saying? It's very purposely, in my opinion, like vague. It's like, so, they're like, okay, well, we have a proclivity to commit sin. Yeah, of course, we have a nature to sin. But the actual sinful acts, which I think you're saying is not even imputed, just a sinful act, which I think was the third one you used. I don't think that baby should inherit that from it's like.
No one's saying they do. See, listen to this.
No, I'm not saying that you said that. I'm just saying those two different concepts. It's like, it's if we can go back and forth about that, but we still believe in the same overarching, God and Jesus and everything. The Bible is not. It's not in that sense of the truth. Like in that sense of truth, it can't be that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense if we have two.
I'm still thinking about the inherited sin thing that you brought up with Ezekiel. I want to ask the AI, okay? Because maybe you don't. I don't know if you don't trust me. ChatGPT, when the Bible says the son doesn't inherit the sins of the father, is that talking about imputed and personal sin as opposed to inherited sin?
That's a great question. In the Bible, particularly in passages like Ezekiel 18, the idea is that individuals are responsible for their own actions rather than being punished for the sins of their parents. This is generally referring to personal responsibility for sin rather than the concept of inherited sin, which is a different theological topic. So it's more about personal accountability than inherited guilt.
See, I'm right.
But, wait, so how are you right? Because they just said inherited. About the first one was about. I know what you're saying. I don't mean to. I'm not going at you. I just feel like what I'm saying is exactly what they just said. But you're saying the first point that you made, which is inheriting the original sin from Adam and Eve. You're saying that what that ChatGPT just read is only referring to numbers 2 and 3, but not 1. And I feel like, how did you get that from that?
Dude, it just said this is generally referring to personal responsibility for sin rather than the concept of inherited sin. It just said this.
Right. So
exactly what I said.
But your first version of sin was you're talking about original sin from Adam and Eve being casted out, right? Is that correct? And what you said, I'm generally asking to make sure I'm not mistaken.
Inherited sin is the Adam and Eve sin.
Right. So where did you get that from? What you just read? Because that didn't even mention anything about that. You see what I'm saying?
You're being stupid. I can't do this. You're being like really dumb. I don't know if he's like actually dumb. It's hard to tell because people are really dumb. That's why Trump destroyed the Department of Education. Welcome, neighbor.
Yeah, so how does science need Jesus?
Well, science is a study of like a rational order and pattern to nature, and Jesus would be the rational ordering principle without which there would be no rational order.
Okay, so what would it look like to do science with Jesus?
All science relies on God's revelation as a foundation to get science off the ground and functioning.
Okay. Oh, so you're not saying, you need to use Jesus in order to do science. You're saying that science relies on Jesus in order to exist.
Science relies on foundational truths revealed in the Bible to function, to work.
Okay. Why do the elites of the world worship demons like Molech?
Because, I don't know, selfishness, pride. They're just wicked people, sinners.
Okay. How do you know that they worship Molech?
Because there's emails that have been released from Island Boy. They're in the news, and he had a temple to Moloch on the island, and they talk about sacrificing to Moloch.
And you're saying all of the elites do this, or just some elites?
Most of them probably.
Like the Rothschild
Celebrities.
family?
Like it's even like Stephen Hawking, yeah, the Rothschild, Cecil Rhodes Foundation scholars, Council on Foreign Relations, these people. Trilateral Commission.
Okay.
Get wrecked. I'll accept you. I don't understand, like, so many people have this avatar. Welcome, neighbor.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, you're talking about my avatar?
Yeah, like everyone has an avatar like that. Is it the same person?
No, it's just because like it's like a default one.
Okay, that's what I
It's
thought.
like one that TikTok gives you when you make an Apple account.
Okay, that's what I
You
thought.
know?
Yeah, okay.
Anyway,
like, is this the same person?
just no. Do I sound the same?
No. That's why I was
No.
just wondering though, because I was like, why does everyone have the same? Anyways.
Nah, it's just a very common profile picture. Anyway,
Yeah, I got you.
so I was just reading this. I just came along it. I was like, so are you a Christian?
Yes.
You are, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like I do believe in God, right?
Right?
But like the things that you're saying, like number 3 and number 5, like that doesn't make sense at all. That's just like a conspiracy theory, you know?
No,
So
it's
that's why I
not.
just wanted to
It's in the emails of Island Boy. It's all in the emails. They talk about sacrificing a Moloch.
Okay, but like where is the proof that that email like actually exists? And even if it does,
Are you
how
kidding
does
me?
that
The government released them. It's
Oh,
in the
okay, well
emails.
either way, like what is that like doesn't mean it's real though, you know? It doesn't mean that
Yeah,
they
but
actually do
but you
that.
have a lot of points on a graph, and eventually there's so many points on the graph where it's kind of like you're being unreasonable to deny it, you know?
No, but like the thing is,
Yes.
that's such a outrageous thing to just bring up, you know?
It is, isn't
Like,
it? But it's true.
okay, but like even if, let's say, even if they do like do sacrifices, like child sacrifices, does that necessarily mean that they're doing it to whoever, like for whatever reason you're saying?
It's in the okay. You're just sea lining me because I told you it's in the emails.
Okay,
It's
it's
not
in
like
the
I'm making this
emails.
shit up, dude. He had a temple
Okay,
to
but
Moloch.
does that mean it's real? Does that mean it's real though?
He had a temple to Moloch on his island. That's real.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you can sacrifice a child for any
Okay.
reason. No, but you can for
Okay.
any
Okay,
reason.
sea
That doesn't
lion.
make it real though, you
Okay,
know?
sea lion. Yeah, nothing's real, right?
It doesn't make it real. It doesn't
No,
mean that they
nothing's
do that,
real, right?
and it doesn't mean that they're sacrificing it to whatever, and that's actually
Okay.
happening.
So what this guy is doing is a type of trolling or harassment where they just
What?
excuse
I'm
me.
literally just saying that what the
I'm trying
points
to
you have
talk.
up on your live are just
Can I
silly.
talk? I just want to tell the
No.
audience that my guest is doing a type of trolling or harassment that
Yeah,
consists
bro.
of pursuing people with relentless requests for evidence, often tangential or previously addressed, while maintaining a
What?
pretense of civility and sincerity, right? I'm just trying to have a debate, and he's feigning ignorance on the subject matter, right? And so
Sick, bro.
this is a bad bit.
Please explain.
He's going to do incessant bad faith invitations to engage in the debate. It's like a denial of service attack targeted on a human being. Okay. So I would like you to leave because I don't like that. I don't like that sea lion stuff.
You're funny, bro. You're funny. I don't even
Okay.
know what you're talking about.
Okay, sea lion.
I don't want to leave.
I know that's what the sea lion does, right? Because it says
Yeah.
if you announce that you want to stop the
you.
debate, if you announce you
Cheers.
want to stop the
See ya.
debate, the sea lion accuses you of being closed-minded or opposed to reason. So they
Okay, but I'm
won't.
not closed-minded. I'm just saying the truth.
This is one of the things the sea
I'm just
lion
saying.
does is he refuses to leave the debate.
Okay, but like, for this debate to actually work, right? For you to actually bring this up and for it to be like something important, like it has to be something that actually matters, you know? Not just the fact that people are sacrificing whatever to who knows what. If you know what I'm saying.
Walter Sinnott Armstrong wrote in Think Again, How to Reason and Argue in June of 2018. He wrote, and I quote, they demand that you,
About?
he wrote, and I quote, they demand that you keep arguing with them. He said they demand that you keep arguing with them for as long as they want you to, even
Okay.
long after you realize that further discussion is pointless. If
Are
you
you
announce
okay?
that you want to stop, they accuse you of being closed-minded or opposed to reason.
I'm
The
not accusing you
practice
of
is
anything.
obnoxious. Reason should not be silenced, but it needs to take a vacation sometimes.
What are you talking about?
I'm asking you to leave.
Why do you want me to leave? We're
I
talking
explained it thoroughly because you're trolling. You're using
not
this trolling
trolling.
technique. You're trying to exhaust.
I'm not using any technique. I'm not
with
trying to exhaust
endless
anybody, bro.
questions and no real intention of discourse.
Okay, but can you ask me, like, I mean, not ask me. Can you answer me? What is the point of this whole thing? Like, why are you saying this stuff?
He's trying to bait me into debating.
Can you ask? I mean, not ask. Why do I keep saying that? Can you answer me? Why are you coming on TikTok live just saying these random things? Like, what are you doing?
I'm gonna give my cats their treat.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to watch?
Yeah.
Wait, a woman requested.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, women
Wow.
get priority here because men are lame. Oh, excuse my background. I didn't mean.
It's all good. I think I know what your prompts are. I think you've come on my page before.
Yeah, that wasn't for you. That was for that guy.
It's all good. I'm sorry. I'm just reading through them. I agree with the fifth one. They do. They're strange people. They definitely child
Oh, yeah.
sacrifice. Come on now.
It's like when you read those emails, you're like, oh, I see
Wait,
what
hold on.
God.
Sorry. The guy in the comments. Guy kicked me for a girl. My gender has nothing to do with it. I have perfect ability to debate.
No,
Thank you.
that is exactly why I kicked him. Because women get priority on my life.
Cheers. How is the Bible demonstrably true?
When if we ask, how could I explain it? You know how like when you steal candy from a baby, you feel bad. Not that you've done that, but like you've probably done something where you're like, oh, maybe I hurt that person's feelings. And you kind of like feel bad or you regret it.
Right. Yeah.
That's God revealing Himself to you. Because if
Okay.
well, if you're just like a cosmic, if the universe was a cosmic fart, and you're just like an evolved ape, there's no real. It doesn't make sense. Like you'd feel bad for that.
Well, it's all to do with kind of social interaction. So you can identify through social interaction when people have negative reactions based on the facial expression, tone of voice, whether they cry or not. So I'd say, having a sense of empathy can be kind of
No,
inferred
no.
from social interactions. I also think that
That's irrelevant.
I think
'Cause
that
there
kind
would be
of
there'd be no good or bad. It'd just be what is. There'd be no such thing as good and bad.
well, no, because you can recognize whether or not someone's in
No,
distress by observing them.
it's not real though.
But it is. But it is. So you're telling me when you look at somebody and you see them crying, you're unable to recognize the fact
Right.
that they're in distress. You don't necessarily have to feel bad for someone that's crying. You just go, oh, they're upset.
For the concept of good or bad to be real, it has to map onto something real in the real world. And that's only possible if Jesus is God. And then Jesus would be the standard of like he would be the authority that says this is good and this is bad. Without Jesus, there's no authority to determine what's good and bad. So it just becomes meaningless. And there's no reason to even feel bad when you take candy from a baby.
No, I suppose so, but I just think that, in my opinion, I think religion is a cope. And hear me out before you start, okay?
That's not a bad.
So
I would
as
agree with you,
humans,
but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think
but it can't be true if it's cope. So as humans,
yeah, I can.
we are biologically
Hope
designed
doesn't mean
to have a
false.
fear of the unknown. Like, you're afraid of the dark. Most people don't know why they're afraid of the dark, but it's just kind of an underlying fear that they have. It's because we're afraid of the unknown. So, we don't know what happens after death, so we created a cope.
Yeah, this life is hard. It's a struggle. Everyone has their cross to bear. But as a Christian, your homie Jesus is always by your side. And when you stumble and you can't bear the weight of that cross, Jesus grabs the cross and he grabs you and he lifts you both up and he carries you. And you're damn right it's a cope. And it's
But
a
if you
better
agree
cope.
that it's a cope, then you would agree it's not
It
true.
doesn't mean
because
it's no. Does it? They can be both a cope and true. There's healthy ways to cope with the struggles of life, and that's through Christ.
Okay,
When
but
you
what
return to
I'm
the world, what does the world offer you to cope? Like pills,
well,
alcohol,
no, you could just go to
sex.
therapy. But no, what I'm trying to kind of
You're gonna
put on the
cope like
table.
God will give you up to a debased animalistic mind, and you will cope like an animal, hitting that dopamine fix over and over. That's how you cope in the world.
I mean, some people do, but they're like
Everyone does. It's the truth.
But there is not sufficient enough evidence to be able to.
You're being unrealistic. Now who's
But
coping?
How am I being unrealistic when I'm saying there's not
Because you're
sufficient evidence
denying
for the
that
Bible to be
the
true?
world is full of a bunch of debased, animalistic people who are
No,
all
I
coping by
think that
hitting
there
constant
definitely are some. I
dopamine
think that
spikes
there's.
via social media,
Why
via
are you
even like
shouting?
sugar, via
Why
what?
are you shouting? I didn't raise my voice at you, so can you please not raise your voice at me? Thank you. But no, I can agree with you. There's definitely some very unhinged people out there, but there's a lot of unhinged people out there that are Christian, if not more so than that are atheists.
Yeah, they're called Catholics and Orthodox.
So you would say that, from my knowledge, because I grew up Catholic, but I'm currently agnostic / atheist, leaning towards more atheist. Would you say that people who, because in comparison to Christianity, I would say that Catholic is a more kind of strict, more devout subsection of Christianity. Are you saying that people that are more devoted to God and Christ are animalistic and unhinged?
Yes, I think they've created a false gospel.
Catholicism has existed for a very, very long time.
Yes, and it's very evil.
Oh.
I was raised Catholic, so I know.
Right. But you still haven't given me kind of evidence on why the Bible can be demonstrably true.
Well, I did with the like morality thing, but
like morality
I can make another argument about math, that math works.
Math.
Yeah, 2 + 2 = 4 is an uncreated eternal truth.
It's
And
man-made. Mathematics is a
Then you
man-made
could
discovery.
then you could change it like language. We can
You
change
totally could, I suppose, based on the logic of the maths as we know it. You can't change it, and also 2 + 2 can equal 5. It's like you learn it in university. It's this
The
really
bridge
long mathematical thing.
the bridge is going to hold like an unchanging amount of weight. It's not going to go, well, today I'm not going to hold as much weight because math doesn't feel like holding weight today, right? So the bridge is going to, based on mathematical principles, hold a certain amount of weight, and that doesn't change. Because if it did, you wouldn't drive with your car over the bridge. There'd be no reason to trust it would hold the weight of your car.
Well, bridges can't always. To be fair, there was a bridge near me that collapsed recently, so I haven't got a lot of trust in bridges at the moment.
But even when it collapsed due to probably some like structural.
Nah, very old bridge. But a
Right,
question
so
I would pose to
it was still
you.
falling. It collapsed because it's obeying the mathematical rules that if you don't keep up with the bridge, you can't hold the weight, and it collapses. Right.
So a
But
question I would pose to you in terms of.
you're ignoring my argument.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
So like, if you believe math works, and you do because you drive over the bridge, there has to be an unchanging, eternal, uncreated reality because math is eternal, unchanging, uncreated. It has to map onto the real world to work. So.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily have to be created by a higher being. Like,
But what would be
people weren't
eternal?
just like, by your logic, obviously, Adam and Eve weren't sent down to Earth with like infinite knowledge about maths and things. Otherwise, Eve would have never eaten the apple.
You can only know the uncreated eternal thing if it's a person that talks to us. You can never know that reality outside of it revealing itself.
So, do you think Jesus talks to people?
Yes.
You know what that's called? Schizophrenia.
No.
Yeah. But a question I would pose to you.
You're the schizophrenic when you believe it's like you feel bad for taking candy from the baby, and there's no reason why you should
It's
feel
just
bad.
basic psychology.
It's not. This is not an there's no ground. It's not real.
It's
Your mind.
It's social science. It's
That's
neurological
not real.
and social science.
That's not real.
Nothing's real. No societal kind of
Then why are we
concepts are
debating?
real.
We're debating like opinions. What are we doing?
Yeah, we're debating the fact that the Bible cannot be demonstrably true because it's all just based off societal standards that we have created.
Then we created truth.
Truth is subjective. There is no infinite truth in anything, which is why the Bible cannot be demonstrably true.
If that's the case, you would be right, but then you'd be contradicting yourself by debating.
How?
Because you're arguing that we can't make arguments.
No, we can make arguments because you can prefer one truth over the other, but that doesn't make it the divine.
No, this is going over your head. No,
it's not going over my head. But
it's going over your head.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's okay. You're blonde.
You can believe I'm not even naturally blonde.
You can make it through life on your looks, so you won't have to be smart. So you'll be okay.
I'm going to university, bro. Like I have.
Well, that's gonna dumb you down. I would drop out of college and start reading books. Read books that the elites write.
Why would I do that?
If you're smart.
Why would I? But you say your
college
fifth
is
prompt.
A scam.
Your fifth prompt says that the elites are demon worshippers. So why would you want me to read a book by them?
So you can know they're you got to know your enemies so to you can have defenses. So like the Israel, Jerusalem, like would build walls. Cities would build walls back in the day to defend themselves.
Cool, good for them.
It was people would plan like how to get around your wall, right? So you would have to like go out and learn the strategies of your enemy. Like they're gonna try to get around your wall, and you gotta think of yourself like there's enemies trying to get in your mind and attack you, and you gotta have a wall to protect you gotta know the strategies of the enemy. You gotta study propaganda. You gotta read the books that the rich, powerful people write, so you know what they're doing to attack you.
I'm pretty aware of the propaganda that.
Okay. What books have you read?
I mean, Donald Trump is a prime example. Bro is.
True. Yeah, he represents like Zbigniew Brzezinski's book, Between Two Ages: America's Role in the Technotronic Era. He describes someone exactly like Trump.
Yeah, Trump's a weird guy. Trump is a weird guy.
So
Wait, can I just ask? I'm not going to debate it with you, but why do you think abortion is child sacrifice? Is it just because it's kind of the termination of a pregnancy, which ends in kind of
you're
stopping the
sacrificed.
development
That's a
of
life that's
woman's
being
destiny?
sacrificed. Yeah, it's a life that's being sacrificed for something else.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
Well, I guess we could agree to
Nice.
disagree.
Yeah, probably, to be fair.
Alright.
It's sorry, it's really late for me. I would have a better
Yeah.
debate, but it's like 2 a.m. nearly.
Well, if you
So
want to follow me, we can debate. I'll follow you.
yeah, I'll debate you during the daytime when I have a bit more of a consistent train of thought.
I stream pretty early usually. All right.
Yeah, okay,
I wish you
cheers.
well. See, like women are a lot more respectful. And these young males, it's like they're trying to take on the alpha debater or something. They're trying to show me up and gotcha.